Hey everybody, it's your old pal Uncle Snussy here. March 17th, 2020. Look to see if there was any kind of holiday of importance today to mention in this video, and I couldn't find anything. Unless you're a drinker like me, and then it's St. Patrick's Day, the patron saint of alcohol. Actually, I don't know. Never bothered to look it up. That's just my assumption based on what people do. Patron saint of the color green and alcohol, right? It's got to be it. Anyway, hope you guys are healthy and staying away from the illness, and I hope you guys have an opportunity to maybe take your mind off of some of the craziness that's going on right now. Enjoy a little St. Patrick's Day, minus parades, unless you want to have one at your home involving your animals and your small people and larger people too. But yeah, enjoy yourself today, and take your mind off of things a little bit by some animated wrestlers, some of your favorite animated wrestlers punching each other in the face. I mean, it's a good escape from the things that are going on in the world. All right, so as far as an update today, nothing too much. You can kind of see my progress that I've been making so far. Maxed out the talent up. That was really freaking expensive. Normally I try to line things up to be ready for the talent up before the talent up actually happens. This time I was not ready, so I did have a ton of coin that I picked up from the previous NWO contest using ingots to buy coin bags. Sorry, Monster. But yeah, I got a ton of coin off of that, and use that to take several wrestlers from 4-star bronze to 4-star silver, and a couple of people from 3-star gold to 4-star bronze, and that allowed me to finish that talent up. And I had mentioned in a previous video that I thought that this talent up had the bar set lower than normal talent ups. I was wrong. This is usually how to max out a talent up. This is usually what it requires. The only shortcut this time was if you happened to have striker Kevin Nash, you could do a showdown event with him, win the showdown, and that would cut a pretty significant sized chunk off of the requirements for the talent up. So from that talent up, what I was able to get at the top was a 3-star bronze of the new striker Bret Hart and 200 shards of the Big Show. For the first time, I actually looked at Big Show in the game and saw he's 1,200 shards to get. I don't know how hard that's going to be. The last 1,200 shard person was Andrade, and if you had the right people, that wasn't too hard to accomplish. But I don't know how the shard breakdown is going to be for Big Show. It's not somebody I was really trying to get Andrade because I really wanted a new acrobat to work on, and I liked his move set. Big Show, I'm kind of so-so on it. It'd be nice to have a Hall of Fame Booker T killer in your back pocket, but I got so many wrestlers to work on now, he would basically just be sitting there for a while anyway. So yeah, that's the talent up event. Most of my progress that's in this event so far, I haven't actually invested any coin, TP, shards, anything into the striker Bret Hart yet. Right, so all the progress I've done in the solo contest here is solely on picking up the ingots from the tours. I also have not participated in the blitzes yet, and I'll get to the reason why in a minute. It's not to say that those that have been participating are wasting their time. There's a method to my madness, right? And then the key contest, right? That's all of us grabbing those keys, and as usual, we tend to be in the top 100 on that. So nice job, everybody. So what's the reason why I haven't put anything into the striker Bret Hart yet? The reason is because there hasn't been a contest to get credit for it yet. So if you look at the blog for Scopely and you go to the calendar, there's going to be a coin and Evo contest, but it's not for a while, right? So here's the thing I have to decide. I have to decide, am I willing to work on Bret Hart before this coin and Evo contest occurs, right? And why would I even care if I'm working on my striker Bret Hart for the coin Evo contest? Well, because you can get credit for winning the matches in the Blitz, beating the boss in the Blitz using the new Bret Hart. So the choices you have there is either A, your Bret Hart is good enough to defeat the boss at the end, or you're gonna pause, quit the game, the Blitz, after you've weakened the boss, and then bring your Bret Hart in to actually get the pin and get credit. Now, using the pause quit method is expensive in terms of health packs, right? Because you're going to have to basically zero out a wrestler in order to put your Bret Hart in and defeat the boss. So you're going to have to use health packs to bring that wrestler back, or you're going to have to put him up for faction heals, right? So the reason why you want to defeat the boss with Bret Hart is because in the Blitz faction contest, you get special credit, right? Defeat the boss in the beginner Blitz with Bret Hart, extra 10,000 points, extra 40,000 points if you do it in advanced mode, and if you happen to get a VIP ticket and you beat the boss in VIP, extra 200,000 points, right? It's pretty significant stuff. So that's what I got to decide. I got to decide, oh, look, you guys got another level in there. Congrats. So I got to decide, is it worth throwing coin and training posters or shards and all of that at Bret Hart prior to there even being an event to get credit for it? It's kind of annoying that Scopely is doing it that way and not giving you an opportunity to get any credit for developing. I mean, I could have done it during the talent up, I suppose, and maxed up the talent up and gotten some credit that way. And of course I will get credit towards this event here at the top. But when the opportunity comes to double dip, right, that you're spending coin to improve the wrestler, and it's helping you in this event and a coin and Evo event, that's kind of nice, right? So that was kind of what I was hoping for, but instead I'm kind of stuck with a decision because that Blitz is only for another 2 days. So the Blitz is almost exactly 3 days, right? So that coin and Evo contest is going to hit right after this Blitz is over. That's probably by design, right? So do I want to spend the coin to work on Bret Hart for this Blitz to get those bonus credits? And I'll tell you the answer for me that I'm leaning towards is I'll probably use my 3-star bronze fuse up that I got for Bret Hart, so that I can put him in maybe the advanced Blitz, right? And maybe I'll pause quit a couple of matches to get some bonus points. Right now he's 1-star bronze, but if I do the fuse up, he'll be 3-star bronze. And it's a 1-star bronze to a 3-star bronze fuse up. So in the coin and Evo contest, you're not going to get any kind of great credit for that because you really get credit for 3-star and 4-star fuse ups, more so than 1-star, 2-star. So yeah, so that makes me, I think you'd be eligible to actually do this Blitz without even using him, right? 3 superstars to start the Blitz. So you don't even actually need him, but you could put him in there to fill the bonus, right? So that you get the +1 MP, but then you also have him there to defeat the boss at the end if you want to get that extra credit for the work you're doing in the Blitz. Excuse me. So yeah, that's what we got going on with the Blitz. And as you saw, as I mentioned there, on the 20th, we have the coin and Evo contest coming. And then as far as what we've got coming down the road, besides that, there's supposed to be a Kevin Nash Big Kev tour. I'll have to go back and check. There wasn't one when I was in there before. I may need to refresh my game. There definitely was a Bret Hart Excellence of Execution tour. And for that tour, I have already finished it. Yeah, see, there's no Kevin Nash one in here at all. Anyway, the Bret Hart one, I finished normal mode. I've finished hard mode. And I've actually finished hell, but I just didn't get 3-star wins on all of them. So let me show you my Bret Hart and the configuration that I'm using. So here's my Bret Hart. He's actually one of the people that I used in the Talent Up. I took him from 3-star gold to 4-star bronze during the Talent Up event. Here is the moves that I use as a 4-star. The blue suplex to create botch, the green spike pile driver finisher, and the arm drag other blue move to choose gems to make into green gems to fill his finisher. So this, I believe this move right here, the arm drag, is a move you unlock at 4 stars. So if you are not at 4 stars yet with him, there's some alternate move sets to consider. But I'm going to go ahead and cover this one first, and then I'll come back to that. So here's the entourage I'm using. Lawler's in there to help fill the suplex and the arm drag, right? Because if you fill the arm drag, you can then choose green to fill the green, right? And then I'm using Rezer to create more green gems. If you have King of Kings, he also has a trainer benefit to create more green gems. But ideally, if you have Arn Anderson, he's the ideal trainer you want to have on your Bret Hart when you're doing fights. And the reason is he's going to create a bunch more botch gems. And the strategy, if you're not familiar with how to use botch gems, in Bret Hart's case, one of the nice things is that he does bonus damage for every botch gem, right? So unfortunately, he is the other botch gem trainer, so he can't train himself. But if you have Arn Anderson, you can create a ton more botch gems, and that's going to cause a ton more damage with the finisher. Now, what you want to do with botch gems when you're putting them out on the board prior to doing the finisher, and you remember I talk about, I always put my moves in the order I want to execute, right? So that way, when I'm in the match, I don't have to think about it so much, right? If these two moves are full, I want to do the botch gem move first and then do the finisher, right? So I put them in that order. These two moves aren't ready, but this move is ready. Then I want to put green gems out there, and that's going to fill this one, right? So I always put them in the order of execution that I want to do, so I don't have to think about it too much in the middle of the match. But where was I going with this? Oh yes, what to do with your botch gems. So when you are putting your botch gems out on the board prior to executing your finisher, your opponent the opponent computer is going to try to break colors they use first. It's kind of a silly thing. It's kind of dumb for the computer to do that. I mean, the purpose behind it is that the colors that they use for their moves are typically ones that do more damage, so they're more effective for kicking out. So, I mean, it's not completely dumb, but that's what they do, right? So if your opponent has red moves and yellow moves, and you are going to put your botch gems out there, look and see if there's any red or yellow matches available. If there are, put your botch gems there. If there aren't, then look for any places on the board where there's the potential of a 3 or a 4 gem match or a 5 gem match, and put your botch gems there, right? Because the goal is you want to pin them, and then you want them breaking the botch gems and getting 0 points for it so that they're stuck in the pin, right? And so if they have a red finisher, that's going to be the first place they look to break. They're going to look to break red gems. And then if they have a yellow move that's not their finisher, that's probably going to be the next thing whatever move colors they have are going to be the colors they're going to try to match first. And only if the colors they use for their moves are not available to match do they actually attempt to match anything else in most circumstances, right? So when you're placing the botch gems out there, that's what you look for. You see 3 red gems right next to each other, ready to be matched. Put your botch gems there if they use red moves, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Additional trainers I have the Trickster Andre. What he is doing is he's giving me an extra blue move point every time I match blue, so I can fill those faster. And J Uso is reducing the amount of turns of a submission in the case if somebody gets me in a submission hold, right? So that I don't lose as much of my of my move points for my moves when somebody gets me in a submission hold. Now, if you have 3-star heart, you don't have this move, right? So you have a couple of blacks and you have a couple of greens. So what I would recommend in that particular situation is I would recommend this black gem DDT move here. And you would do that black DDT sort of in this order, right? So you want to put out botch gems if they're there, and then you want to do your finisher. If you don't have your botch gems and your finishers full, then you want to try to make red gems into green gems to fill these two moves, right? Now, the downside of this setup is both of these moves are using red gems, right? So if you're making red gems into botch gems, and then you're going over here and making red botch gems into green gems, you might be creating matches that are destroying your botch gems, right? So, and also, if he's making red gems into green gems and he's creating matches that are filling these moves, you've now gotten rid of a lot of the green gems on the board. Oh no, I'm sorry, you've gotten rid of a lot of the red gems on the board, and so there's no place to put the botch gems anymore, right? So he's definitely not as effective as a 3-star. He gains significant power by becoming 4-star and unlocking this blue move as a 4-star. Now, you could, if you wanted to, you could put this blue move out there in lieu of the black move, or maybe even that green move if you just didn't want them to interfere with each other. But I think this is the best setup, just simply because you can put Bray Wyatt, the striker Bray, out in your entourage to help fill this faster. It's a 7 charge. It's not going to take long. You know, a single match is going to have you pretty close to having that move filled. If your Bray Wyatt is at 5K, you're talking you'd be turn 2, you'd be turning those red gems into green gems, right? So your entourage for that setup would be to replace that with right, would be Bray Wyatt. And then Rezer would actually still work, turning red gems into more green gems. Another option is, I believe, not Cesaro. I think it's Sheamus. What does Sheamus do? Botch gems, yeah. So Sheamus actually boosts Bret Hart's finisher so that you do more damage with the bot gems. And of course, Arn Anderson. Absolutely, positively, if you have Arn Anderson, that is totally a viable option. If you're willing to sacrifice, if you want to have a high damage potential, but you know you're making it longer and slower to get there, you can actually take out Bray, have Arn Anderson and Sheamus in there. So you're making a ton of botch gems and you're doing a ton of damage with the botch gems. It just means you're going to need a lot of luck on the gem board to get the matches to do it. All right. I think that's it for today, guys. Have a good one out there. Good luck. Bye.